This is our homily for Sunday, November 24th, the feast of Christ the King, and the last Sunday of our church year. Once, in my younger days, I was giving a homily, and as I went on, I became rather animated. I made a sweeping gesture and accidentally knocked my papers from the pulpit. I scrambled to pick them up and then mumbled aloud into the mic, "Now, where was I?" And a voice from the congregation yelled back, "At the very end." Well, we are at the end, not of the homily, but of the liturgical year. In our reading from Revelations, Jesus says he is the Alpha and the Omega. We would say the beginning and the end. St. John emphasizes the Alpha part at the beginning of his gospel, where we hear, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was with God." This is a powerful description of what is meant by Alpha in this context. Jesus was the beginning, the Word that brought all into being. Jesus is the Alpha. Our feast today emphasizes that Jesus is also the Omega, the end to which everything is moving. Jesus has inaugurated his kingdom, and all creation is moving toward that kingdom being fully established. Jesus' way of living and relating, as presented to us in the Gospels, helps us understand what that kingdom will be like and what we have to do to help bring that kingdom about. For example, our gospel today contrasts a king according to human standards with Christ the King. Pilate, the human king, rules through power. Jesus rules through truth and love. Pilate rules through might. Jesus rules with the cross. Pilate is rich. Jesus only has the cloak on his back. Pilate lords it over others. Jesus washed the feet of his disciples. Pilate would ride the strongest horse available. Jesus entered Jerusalem on a lowly donkey. Pilate had an ornate crown filled with gems. Jesus had a crown of thorns. The law in Pilate's kingdom was the law of Rome. The law in the kingdom of Jesus is the Beatitudes. Notice, in all of this, Jesus shows humility in the desire to serve others. Through ordinary time, we have been taught how to help bring about the kingdom in our lives. Advent will be a time of reflection on how well we are doing as we prepare to remember and celebrate our King's birth, but also strengthen our resolve to live in such a way as to bring forth the kingdom of justice, mercy, and peace. I end with a story. A long time ago, a king had no children to succeed him on the throne, so he decided to choose his successor from among his people. The only condition set by the king, as announced throughout the kingdom, was that the candidate must have a deep love for God and neighbor. In a remote village of the kingdom lived a poor but gentle youth who was noted for his kindness and helpfulness to all his neighbors. The villagers encouraged him to enter the contest for the kingship. They took up a collection for him so that he could make the long journey to the royal palace. After giving him the necessary food and a good overcoat, they sent him on his way. As the young man neared the castle, he noticed a beggar sitting on a bench in the royal park, wearing torn clothes. He was shivering in the cold while begging for food. Moved with compassion, the young man gave the beggar his new overcoat and the food he had saved for his return journey. After waiting a long time in the parlor of the royal palace, the youth was admitted for an interview with the king. As he raised his eyes after kneeling before the king, he was amazed to see the king wearing the overcoat he had given the beggar in the park. The king welcomed him as the new king of the country. When he comes in glory, Christ the King is going to judge us on the basis of our corporal and spiritual works of mercy and how we lived to hasten the coming of his kingdom of justice, mercy, and peace. I invite us to reflect during the special season of Advent that will begin this coming Sunday on how we are doing at living gospel values and building up the kingdom, taking advantage of the various activities and opportunities for growth that are being offered by the community. And as we struggle to grow as disciples, let us support each other in prayer. God bless.